Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So we're going to start vectors now. Okay.
Yes, vectors.
Okay. So we are going to
Okay.
discuss about the basic of vectors. What the vector is basically, right? Okay.
Okay.
So the board is visible to you.
The board, yes, now it is.
Okay. So now, what is vector basically? Vector, a physical quantity which have a magnitude and a direction. Like if you are driving a car, right? For example,
Yes.
this is the car you're driving like this. Now you will drive it in a particular direction, right?
Yes.
And this car also have a magnitude, like this car have a weight, right?
Yes.
So this car in this direction represent a vector.
Okay.
So every physical quantity which have magnitude and direction is called as a vector, right?
Vector. Okay.
Now
Yes.
for example, the car is at rest. The car is not moving in a particular direction. The car is at rest. Then the car has a magnitude, but the car do not have the direction, right? So
Yes.
in this case, this quantity is known as a scalar quantity,
Scalar quantity. Okay.
right? So scalar, you can take it as a scalar quantity, and whenever there is a magnitude and the direction, then it's called as a vector quantity.
Okay.
Okay. So now we will going to discuss about the vectors in mathematics, right? For example,
Yes.
you are given with a point, and this point is directed towards this direction like this. Now this point must have some magnitude and have a direction. So it is represented by like a vector, this vector, right?
Yes. A
Let us
vector.
understand more. Let us understand it by taking the structure of a quadrant here. For example, if a quadrant is given to you like a Cartesian
Yes.
like this, like we have a origin here, one here and two here like this, one and two. And here we have one and two.
Okay.
Now take a point here as like 2, 1. Are you familiar with this point, how to write these points and why I'm writing this 2, 1?
Yes. This is the coordinates.
Yeah, quadrant. So basically this is the first quadrant, this is the value of x and this is the value of y, right?
Yes.
Now if you see here, like we are traveling from O to A. Let us take this point as A and take this point as P like this. So we are basically traveling from O to A, then A to P, and this is the displacement OP, which is basically the vector of this, right?
Oh.
Yeah. So this is basically the vector which is representing the direction and the magnitude of this which we have traveled here, like from this to this, right?
Yep.
Now the thing is the representation of vector. Representation of vector. How we represent the vector mathematically. Representation,
Um,
right? Now, first of all, to understand the represent, we must know about the unit vector. What is unit vector? Unit
unit
vector, right?
Yes.
A vector which have magnitude as 1, which have magnitude as 1
One.
is called unit vector. Like from 0 to 1, if I'm traveling from 0 to 1, so it is representing a unit vector, right? This from 0 to
Yes.
1, it is representing a unit vector. Then from 1 to 2, it is representing a unit vector. So basically, a unit vector is a vector whose magnitude is 1. So you can say that from 0 to 1, you're getting a unit vector. From 1 to 2, you're again getting a unit vector. Now, this is basically the x-axis, and this is the y-axis, right?
Yes.
Now we will take the unit vector as I cap along x-axis. Along x-axis, we take I cap as a unit vector. And
Okay.
along y-axis, we will take j cap
Okay.
as a unit vector along y-axis. For example, this O to A, this 0 to 1 represent I cap.
Okay.
This 0 to 1 represent I cap. And again, this 1 to 2, it representing I cap along x-axis. So we have two I caps here, right?
Yep.
Now, if we talk about this distance, this is from y-axis. We are taking it as a y-axis. So this is
This.
also 1. Like you are going from 1, you are going from 2 to 1. Like this is representing the 1 unit of y-axis. So it is represented by j cap, right?
Okay. Yes.
Now, if I talk about the total distance, so what is a total distance? Basically, you have traveled I cap plus
J
this I
cap.
cap plus this j cap, right?
Yep.
So basically, it is 2 I cap plus j cap, right? This is the distance, and it can be represented by as a vector, right?
Yes.
So this is the representation of a vector. This is how we are going to represent a vector, right?
Yep.
Any doubt?
No, this is very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. Basically, here we have like this is the x, this is the value of x, and this is the value of like 1 is here, so this is the value of y. So basically, a vector is x I cap plus y j cap, right?
Yes.
So this is the basic representation of a vector. Now, for example, I'm going to give you a like point on the quadrant. If, for example, a point is given to you here,
Mm-hmm.
0, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. Like a point is given to you here as 2, 2. Now represent it as a vector. How will you write it? A vector is equals to
Vector is equal to 2x
2 I cap
2 I cap. Okay, plus
right,
2y j cap.
2 j cap, not y. You don't have to take x. Like here, this is the value of x and this is the value of y, right? So this is the value of x and this is the value of y. So simply you have to
Yes.
put the value, this x I cap plus y j cap, where the x is 2 and y is also 2. If you
Okay.
see this is x is 2 and y is 2, right?
Yes.
Now, what about this point? Like if you take this 1, 1, how will you write it?
Which point? The 1 and 1?
Yeah. So how will you
That would be
represent it as a vector?
I cap plus j cap.
Yeah, that will be I cap plus j cap, right?
J cap.
Now,
Yes.
for example, if you're given with the point -2, -6, how will you represent it as a vector?
Is equal to, I mean, vector A is equal to -2 I cap plus -6 j cap.
Good, -6
J cap.
So this is how we can represent a point. Basically, this is a point and this is a direction of this, right? It can be represented
Yes.
as a vector. So this is how we can represent a vector, a point in this form. right? I hope you are understanding that why we are writing this as a like 2i cap 2j cap. Basically, we are adding the unit vectors, right? Where I
Yes.
cap and j cap are the unit vectors. Okay.
Yes.
Now the next thing is how to like, for example, you are given with the 2 points like this and this. 2 points are given to you, right? For example, this point is 1 comma 2 and this point is 3 comma 4, and this is representing a vector basically,
Uh,
right? Now how will you represent it? How will you write a vector?
we'll subtract. So this is 2. So it's going to be vector A is equal to 2i cap plus 2j cap.
Yeah, basically this is the point you are asking about, right?
Yes.
But here the thing is that we are going from here to here. We are bounded now, right? We are bounded now. We are going from here to here. Now, basically, if you want to find the vector, what you have to do is you just have to subtract this 3 from 1,
And the 4 from 2.
I cap, plus 4 from 2, like 4 minus 2, j cap. So you will come to know about that you are getting 2 I cap
Yes.
plus
2j cap.
like that, right? So this is how we can represent, like a line is given to you and we are bounded, like we are going from this point to this point, and it is represented by a vector a, so we can easily represent it as a in the form of a vector by subtracting the subtracting the x from the x and y from the y point, right?
Yep.
Okay, try this. Like 2 points are given to you like this: minus 1 comma 6 and 2 comma 8. Now find out the vector a.
Vector A is equal to 2 minus minus 1.
Is basically 3 I cap, right?
Yes.
And
And
8
then
minus 6 is
2j cap
good.
plus.
2 right?
Yep.
So this is a basic representation of a vector, that how we can represent a vector. Now
Understood.
the next one is zero vector. What is zero vector? Basically, a vector is called as a zero vector when its magnitude is 0. Like if we're taking a point like this, 0 comma 0 in this direction,
Mhm.
right? Now how will you represent it? You will represent it as 0 I cap plus 0 j cap, like this, right?
Yes, that is 0.
Yeah. So here the magnitude, here the direction is given to you, but the magnitude is 0. So it is represented as a zero vector. Okay.
0 vector. Okay.
Yeah. Now here we have the next, like equal vectors. Equal vectors. For example, two vectors are given to you, like 1 comma 1. A point is given to you and vector is given to you as a vector. And 1 comma 1, same point is given to you and it is represented by a p vector. So how will you write a vector?
A
You
vector
will
is equal
write
to
as
I
I
cap,
cap plus j cap, right?
j cap.
And how will
Yes.
you write b cap? It's also I cap plus j cap, right? So
Yes.
basically these are called as a equal vectors.
Equal vector similar. Okay.
Yeah, similar vectors are there. Okay.
Okay.
Now the most important topic is like magnitude of vector. Magnitude of vector. Like what is magnitude of vector? Like a vector is given to you, for example, a vector is like given to you, a vector is equals to 2 I cap plus 3 j cap, and they are asking about the magnitude. What is the magnitude of the vector? So how to find the magnitude? You can represent this magnitude as a modulus of this vector, like this.
A
And what
modulus.
about those? It's a square root of x value square plus y value square, like this, right?
Oh, this is an equation.
No, basically this is a formula to find the magnitude. the magnitude of a vector.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the formula to find the magnitude. Like, what is the magnitude of vector? Like, if you have, like, you have a car, the car has some weight, right?
Yes.
If you have to measure it, you just have to, like, you can, like, easily can measure the weight of the car, right?
Yes. Your mic is muted.
Like, this is the method to basically measure the magnitude of a point.
Yes.
We are measuring the magnitude of a vector. Like, this is given to us 2i vector plus 3j cap, right?
Yes.
Now we have to find the magnitude. To find the magnitude, we have a square root 2 square plus 3 square, like this, right?
Yes.
Now, what is basically 2 square? It's 4, and what is basically 3 square?
9.
It's like 9. So you will get square root 13 as a magnitude, right?
Yes.
Okay, so are you familiar with the distance formula of 2 points? Like, 2 points are given to us.
The distance formula, I heard of it before in my other maths class, but I forgot it.
Yeah. So now, like, I'm explaining you why we are using this formula. I'm just explaining you here why we are using this formula is, like, a quadrant is given to you like this, right? And a
Yep.
point 2 comma 2 is given to you here, right? So this
Yes.
is the point, this is the y-axis, and this is the basically distance, and this is origin 0, 0, right?
Yep.
What is the magnitude? Basically, magnitude is the distance from O to this point P, right? Magnitude is the distance of this O point to this P point. Now, to find this distance, we have to apply a distance formula. So basically, we have to find the distance between this 0, 0 and 2, 2, right?
Yep.
So how we will find the distance? Like, the distance formula of this will be 2 minus 0 square plus minus 0 square. Like, we have to subtract this x from x and y from y and square root over it,
Oh,
right? So it will be 2 square plus 2 square is equals to, like, we have 8 here, right?
yes, which is 2.
Yeah. So this is the reason that why I'm taking, like, if we have a vector like this, a vector is equal to 2 I cap plus 2 j cap. So I'm directly using it. I'm just directly using it as a square root of 2 square plus 2 square. It's basically square root 8, right?
Yes.
Are you getting my point properly?
Yep. X2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the
Yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah,
square.
yeah, yeah. Basically, this we are finding the magnitude by applying the distance formula here, right? The
Yes.
distance formula is between this point P and this point O, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what's your name?
My name Muhammad.
Ahmad?
No, not Ahmed. Muhammad.
Ahmad.
Muhammad. Mohammed.
Ahmad. Okay,
Yes.
Muhammad, right? Okay.
Yes.
So Muhammad, here, like, here a vector is given to you like this. A vector is equals to 3i cap plus 4j cap, right?
Yes.
Find out the magnitude of its vector.
For the magnitude, we're gonna use the distance formula.
Yeah. So basically, you can directly do the square root of this value x square plus
Yes.
direct square root of this value, right?
Yep.
So what you will get? You will get 9 plus 16.
Yes, which is 27. No, 25.
25. So what is the square root of 25? It's 5,
5. Yep.
right? So magnitude is basically represented by this modulus. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Now find out the magnitude of, like, a vector is given to you like this: minus 3i cap minus 4j cap. Find out the magnitude.
We're gonna use the distance formula equation, which is vector A is equal to square root of minus 3 square
Yeah.
Plus minus 4j square in brackets.
So what you will get?
We will get 9 plus 16, which is 25. So answer will be 5.
Yeah, answer will be 5. Right?
Yep.
So this is how we can find the magnitude, and magnitude is always positive, right? Magnitude is always positive. So this is how we can find the magnitude of a vector. It's very simple, basically.
This is simple.
Okay. So,
Yes.
so now let us take a summary over here. What we have discussed. We have discussed about what is vector, right?
Yes, what they are.
Vector is a physical quantity which have a magnitude and have a direction also, right?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Now, this is the representation of a vector. Now, if I ask you about
Your voice is
scalar
cutting out.
components in this vector, what are the scalar components in this vector?
Scalar components in this vector, 2 and 3.
Can you hear me?
No, your voice is cutting out a lot, like it's glitching.
Okay, now you can hear me.
Yes.
Like this is this is what we have discussed about the vectors, right? Now, if I
Yes.
talk about the scalar components, what are the scalar components are here? 2 and 3 are the scalar components, right?
Yes.
What about the vector components?
I and j.
Full 2 I cap and 3 sigma, like
All right.
magnitude plus direction, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So the next one is like unit vector, like I cap and j cap. I cap represent the unit vector at the x-axis, and j cap represent the unit vector along the y-axis, right? And at the
Yes.
last, we come to know about like if the 2 points are given to you, how to find a vector, right? And the
Yes.
third one, what we have discussed about the magnitude. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very much familiar about the questions which we have in the IGCSE syllabus. But the thing is that you can send me the you have those worksheets or
Well, I just do them online on my computer.
okay, online.
Yes.
Because we are getting problem in the questions also, right?
Yes,